How long can mom and dad stay in Australia? You've cleaned the spare room, fluffed the pillows, stocked the pantry with every biscuit brand your mom ever liked. The koalas are waiting, the sun is shining, and your parents are at the airport in matching fleece jackets and puzzled expressions. But wait, before they can enjoy all that Vegemite and kangaroo spotting, there's one little thing: the parent visitor visa. And the million-dollar question is, how long can they stay? Welcome to the bureaucratic beauty pageant that is the Australian visitor visa process. And today we're diving into the subclass that's just for your beloved creators, mom and dad. Let's start with the basics. The visitor visa is like the golden ticket for overseas parents who want to visit their children in Australia. Hold your baby for the first time, bring 5 kilos of homemade pickle, and gently point out all the ways your house could be cleaner. But when applying for this visa, people often get confused about one thing: how long will they be allowed to stay? Do you get to pick the time? Will the Department of Home Affairs decide? Can they stay until they get bored of Australia or you get bored of them? Well, let's dig into the details. First, the most important part: should you ask for a specific time period when applying? In short, yes, but gently. It's a bit like asking your boss for annual leave. You can request the dates, but ultimately it's their call. When applying for the parent visitor visa, there is a section where you can mention the intended length of stay. For example, 3 months, 6 months, or even a whole year. But, and it's a big but, just because you ask doesn't mean they'll say yes. You can write, "We respectfully request a 12-month stay so my dad can finish fixing my leaky roof." And the officer reading it might go, "You'll get 3 months and like it." The Department of Home Affairs considers many things when deciding the visa period: your financial support, the health insurance status, previous visa compliance, and how good you are at not overstaying your welcome. Now let's move to the juicy bit. What's the maximum and minimum stay time they can grant? Technically, the visa can be granted with a stay of up to 12 months per visit. But in reality, that's rare. Like finding a clean public barbecue on a long weekend rare. More commonly, parents are granted 3 or 6 months per visit. If you're very lucky or your child is a citizen or permanent resident and you're a very well-behaved parent, you might get 12 months stay per visit, but it comes with a few strings attached. And what are those strings? One of them is the no further stay condition. That means once the visa is granted, you can't extend it while you're in Australia. If mom's having a great time and wants to stick around for your baby's first birthday, she'll need to apply for a new visa from outside the country. Also, the length of the visa grant period, how long the visa is valid for, is different from how long your parents can stay on each trip. Yes, welcome to the wait what part. You might get a visa that's valid for 3 years, but only allows stays of 3 months at a time. That means mom can come visit, stay for 3 months, and then she has to leave. She could come back again later, but she can't stay 3 years straight, tempting though it may be. Think of it like having a gym membership for a year but being allowed to use the sauna for only 30 minutes at a time. So then how long can parents stay in one go? That's decided by the stay period condition on the visa. It's usually one of these: 3 months stay per entry, 6 months stay per entry, 12 months stay per entry. But here's the kicker. If they do get a long-term visa, say a 3-year visa with 12 months stay per visit, the department might slap on another condition: the 12 months and 18 months rule. This means your parents can only stay in Australia for 12 months total in any 18-month period. Yes, they can go back home for a bit, come back, repeat, but they can't stay continuously beyond those limits. Because, spoiler alert, if they're living in Australia full-time on a visitor visa, the government gets suspicious. They'll start to wonder, are they really visiting, or just sneakily living here and eating Centrelink snacks? And here's where the story gets fun. Meet Uncle Ravi. He applied for a visitor visa, asking for 12 months, because his son in Melbourne had triplets and urgently needed help. Ravi wrote a long cover letter, attached adorable baby photos, and even offered to cook dinner for the case officer. Visa granted, 3 months. He reapplied later, got another 3 months. Third time, visa denied. Why? Because the department said he appeared to be living in Australia on a visitor visa, essentially treating it like a backdoor permanent residency. So, moral of the story: don't overdo it. Australia loves visitors, but doesn't want the guest room to turn into your full-time residence unless you're ready to go the proper migration route. Now here's another common question. Can you reapply again and again? Sure. You can apply as often as you like, but every application will be scrutinized more closely. The longer the previous stays, the higher the chance of being refused in future applications. This is where a solid explanation, return tickets, and proof of financial support go a long way. Also, health insurance is crucial, especially for older parents. If your parents are over a certain age, usually over 75, they might be asked to undergo health checks or provide evidence of adequate private health insurance for their stay. Because while Australia is generous, it doesn't want to foot the bill if Uncle Ravi suddenly decides to try bungee jumping and breaks a hip. Here's a handy, unofficial checklist to boost your parents' visa chances. Strong ties to home country. Travel insurance covering their stay. Return tickets or proof of planned return. Financial support letters from you. A convincing, polite cover letter with reasons for the visit. No history of overstaying visas. Now let's laugh a bit. Remember Auntie Geeta? She got her visa, flew in with 3 suitcases, 2 pressure cookers, and a suspicious-looking jar of mango chutney customs wouldn't touch without gloves. She arrived on a 6-month visa and was so thrilled by the eucalyptus trees that she started sending group selfies to her WhatsApp family chat every 4 hours. The koala. The opera house. Even the local woolies. When her visa neared its end, she panicked and tried to apply for an extension from her nephew's living room using her Nokia 3310. Spoiler, it didn't work. Well, respect the visa conditions, or you'll have to take your chutney and go home early. And speaking of going home, remember, the government doesn't allow extension while onshore for most visitor visa types with a no further stay condition. Once the time is up, they need to leave the country and apply again from overseas. But hey, if all goes well, they can keep visiting. And you'll have a lifetime supply of pickles and love. Now, before we wrap up, here's a final thought. This process isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about families. About grandparents meeting their grandkids, about reunions, about feeding you ladoos and knitting you socks you'll never wear. So do your paperwork, be honest, and let the Aussie sun shine on your family visits, legally.